Everyone is saying AI will take your job, but today I gave Claude a practical Excel task, not a simple formula, not a basic table. I asked it to create an interactive top N sales chart. If I select 5, the chart should show me exactly 5 salesmen. If I select 10 or 15, the chart should automatically expand without leaving any empty space. Claude created formulas, prepared the data, and even told me the task was complete. But was it actually complete? Stay until the end because the most interesting part is not where Claude succeeded, it is where Claude confidently said that the task is done while the solution was still wrong. Let me quickly explain what I wanted to build. I have the sales data for multiple salespeople and I want the user to control how many top performers appear in the chart because nobody is looking for seeing everyone all the time. If the user selects 5, the chart should show only top 5 salespeople with their sales. If the user selects 10, it should show top 10. Later, I want to connect a spin button so the user can increase or decrease the number interactively. This sounds straightforward, but there is one important condition. The chart must genuinely resize. It should not display 5 bars inside a space reserved for 20 or 25 people. I first asked Claude to create this solution. Claude was not able to create the spin button directly. So I allowed it to use numeric input cells with data validation. I could connect the spin button manually later. Claude then started building the supporting structure. It summarized the sales data by salesperson, sorting the results in a pivot table, and created the ranking logic. It used formulas such as index, match, and rank to return the salesperson in the correct order. This is where AI becomes genuinely useful. Claude can save a lot of time when the objective is clearly defined, create supporting columns and apply validations and build a basic chart much faster than many users could do manually. Even if you do not remember the exact formula syntax, AI can often generate it for you. At this stage, the output looked promising. The ranking was working. The top salespeople were available. The input cell was also ready. It appeared that most of the work had already been completed. But now we come to the part that separates a working Excel model from a model that looks as if it is working. When I entered 5, the chart displayed 5 salespeople. At first glance, you might say, perfect, it is working. But look carefully, the chart was still connected to a fixed range containing 20 positions. Claude had only hidden the unwanted values using blanks and if errors. That means the chart was still reserving space for all the 20 items. Only 5 bars were visible, but they were compressed into one portion of the chart while the remaining area stayed empty. This was not a genuinely dynamic top-end chart. It was a fixed chart pretending to be dynamic. This is exactly where blindly trusting AI becomes dangerous. Claude had produced something that looked correct. A beginner might accept it, present it, and move on. But someone who understands how Excel charts work will immediately see the problem. AI can generate an answer, but it may not fully understand the experience which you want to create. More importantly, it may not clearly tell you that its solution has a limitation. To correct this, the chart needed a truly dynamic source range. So I guided Claude toward the solution. I asked it to use the offset function and create a range whose height was controlled by the top and input cell. Claude handled this part quite well. It wrote the offset formula, created a separate name range, one range for the salesperson's name, the other contained their corresponding sales values. This is another major strength of AI. Once you give it the correct direction and specify the exact technical requirement, it can execute the formula building work very efficiently. But notice what happened here. Claude did not independently arrive at the correct architecture. I had to tell it that we needed offset, a dynamic height, and a separate name range. People often say that you only need to learn prompting now. But how will you write the correct prompt if you do not understand the underlying concept? The quality of AI output still heavily depends on the quality of your thinking. Next, I asked Claude to create another chart using the newly created dynamic name ranges. And this is where things became interesting again. Claude created the chart, but instead of connecting it to dynamic name ranges, it connected the chart to fixed worksheet ranges. So we are back to the same problem. The correct formulas existed, the correct name ranges existed, but Claude failed to connect the final chart to those name ranges correctly. I then gave it a very precise instruction. Replace the fixed category range with the name ranges for the salespeople and replace the fixed value range with the name ranges for the sales values. That was the only change required. Claude processed the instruction and reported that the chart was now genuinely dynamic. It said the work was done. But when I checked the chart, nothing had changed. The chart was still referring to the fixed ranges. This is perhaps the most important lesson from the entire experiment. When AI tool says done, that doesn't prove the task has actually been completed. You still need to inspect the output. You need to test different scenarios. And you need to verify that the model behaves correctly. AI generated work still requires quality control. So I completed the final connection manually. I opened the chart series formula and replaced the hard-coded ranges with the dynamic name ranges. One range controlled the salesperson name and the other controlled their sales values. Now watch what happens. At 5, the chart shows 5 and uses the complete area of the chart for those 5 columns. And when I put 10, it expands to 10. And at 15, it expands again to 15. There's no unused category, no unnecessary blank spaces. Now it's genuinely dynamic. The final step was to replace the manual input experience with a spin button. Claude could not do this directly and it mentioned that as well. So I added it myself from the developer tab. I set the minimum value to 5 because showing less than 5 people would not make the chart particularly useful. I set the maximum based on the number of available salesmen. I also configured the button to increase or decrease the value by 1. The spin button was then connected to the top n input cell. Now every click updates the selected number, the formulas, the chart, even the title. To finish the dashboard, I added data labels, displayed the sales value in millions, and removed unnecessary grid lines, and created a dynamic title. The title now shows both the selected number of salesmen and their total sales. When the user changes the selection, the complete visual updates automatically. The calculations, the number of bars, the labels, and the title all responds together. And who doesn't like that part? So coming to the final part. So can Claude help you with Excel? Absolutely yes. It created the supporting structure, generated the formulas, ranked the data, and helped build the name ranges as well. Work that might take someone a long time to complete manually can be produced much faster with AI. But could Claude complete this entire solution independently? In this case, no. It struggled with the genuinely dynamic behavior of the chart. It repeatedly used fixed ranges despite instructing again and again. At one point, it claimed the work was complete even though the required change had not been applied. So, will AI take your job? My honest opinion is this: AI may replace people who only follow repetitive steps without understanding them, but it will make knowledgeable professionals far more powerful. The winning combination is not AI alone, and it is not human efforts alone. It is a skilled person who understands the problem, uses AI to accelerate the work, identifies its limitation, and knows how to finish what AI cannot do. AI can write formulas, but you still need to know which formula is required, why it is required, and whether the final result is actually correct or not. If you would like to see more honest practical tests of AI inside Excel or Power BI, subscribe to the channel and tell me in the comment section. Would you trust an AI tool after it says done, or would you still verify everything yourself? That's it for now. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.